Hey, I'm Mike from Crawltech, and today we're going to install this Inferno bumper on this 2010 JK. Tools you'll need for the job: a sawzall, a cordless drill, a grinder with a flap disc, a drill bit for pilot holes, a step bit, a paint marker, and we're going to use a 15 and a 5/8 wrench. And you're also going to need yourself a straight edge and a measuring device. All right, now we're going to measure on the frame and mark our spots for where we need to cut. Your first mark is going to be at 4 inches on the top of the frame rail, and then we're going to measure 5.5 inches at the bottom of the frame rail. And then from our 4-inch mark, we are going to measure 2.5 inches down. And with our straight edge, we are going to connect the dots. We're gonna try and make this nice and even with our end of our frame rail. So we're gonna make our first cut straight down here and avoid this weld here. If your vehicle is equipped with an optional tow package, you'll want to remove the wiring harness out of the way so you don't damage it when you are cutting through your frame. All right, once you cut through your frame rail, you're gonna find yourself a weld that's attached to the crossmember. We're gonna cut through that right now. Once the crossmember has been removed, we're going to next go ahead and cut off this little corner here. We're not going to cut all the way across, we're just going to cut it off the corner. So let's go at it. So with the crossmember removed, we're going to do a little checking of our cutting to make sure that we have enough cut off. Now you're going to grab your 18mm socket and wrench, and you're going to remove the body mounts. Be extra careful on the older vehicles, they may have some rust here, so you want to go slow as you don't want to break the bolt, the nut that is up here in the body. Now that we've test fit the bumper, we're going to go ahead and clean up all of our edges here to make sure that our bumper goes back up in place nice and cleanly. And then we're going to touch it up with a little bit of paint. Now with the factory bumper in place, we're going to reuse the factory bolts here to hold it in place while we mark the 2 holes on the lower side of the frame. So we're going to mark a hole right up in here. So with the 2 holes that we drilled, we're going to go ahead and use a small drill bit to get a pilot hole, and then we're going to enlarge those with a step bit. All right, with our frame freshly painted, and we're going to now install these little clips right into this side right here. You may need a hammer to install them, or they might just clip right in. And now we're going to install the bumper for the very last time. You good over there?
Yep.
All right. Next step up is to install our nut strips. They're going to slide in through this hole here, and you're going to work them around so they sit just like that in the frame. With the nut strip in place, we're now going to install the lower bolt. It's a 7/16 bolt. We're going to use a 5/8 wrench. Using an 18mm socket, we're now going to install our body mount bolts.